A lot of real estate agents fail in the business, and I think the statistic is 89 to 90% of agents fail within the first couple years, which is a huge dropout and fail out rate. And in today's video, we're going to discuss why most real estate agents fail, and then a couple things that we can do to put into place so that you don't fail in your business. So let's get right into it. The very first reason that I believe that a lot of agents fail, because they do not have a plan in place to lead their business or have a direction to take their business. Okay, a lot of times people get in the real estate space because they have an uncle that is super successful, been in the real estate industry for 10-20 years, make a lot of money, or their buddy just got their license, they have one closing, made $10,000, and they're like, you know what, this is for me, this is my get rich quick scheme, right? So they think it's going to be easy, but they get into the business and they don't really have a plan or a direction to go towards. And take me, for example, the first time I got in the business in early 2018, I essentially sold nothing for 10 months, right? So the brokerage I joined at the time, they would say, you know, you need a cold call, you need to call your sphere of influence, go through your phone and call everybody you know, you need a door knock, you need to do those types of things. And that's not something that I wanted to build my business on. So I honestly didn't do any of those. I tried to do open houses. I did Uber and pass out business cards. I did landscaping, try to talk to homeowners. I did so many different things and I failed. I left the industry altogether, but I came back in 2020. And the key difference is that I had mentorship and direction to get me where I wanted to go. So when I came back in the business, and what I did is I was on YouTube. So I made videos just like this to lead generate, and that's how I was able to grow my business. But I had a clear path. I had a plan that I put in place that others helped me institute. So that's something that you should take into account is, you know, do you have a coach or a mentor, right? So a coach is typically somebody that you pay to keep you accountable. Sometimes you need to join a team to get that accountability, or you can have a mentor, a friend, a relative, an uncle, people that can help mentor you through the real estate journey and help you put a plan in place. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have a mentor or pay for a coach and you get a plan in place, something that you need to know is that you need to take action on that plan. Something that people don't understand is that even though you have a plan, it takes a while for that plan to work, right? So it's not something that you're going to do for a week and now all of a sudden you're going to get these leads flowing to you and you're going to make all this money. Sometimes it could take 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, but you need to stick to the plan that you have put in place so that you can grow your business. Of course, you can always pivot here, pivot there, but for the most part, you need to take action on that plan. And you're never going to know where you need to pivot unless you're taking action, right? So you can't sit back and always think, well, what if this happens? Let me pivot here, let me pivot there, if you've never even taken any action. For example, for me, I just need to start making videos, right? So I started to make videos and slowly people started to reach out to me, but over time I saw that certain videos were better than others. So I started to pivot how I made my videos and what I made my videos on. And that's the same case for you. If you're looking to cold call or door knock or open houses, whatever the case may be, you need to start taking the action so that you can start getting feedback on what it is that you're doing. And that way you can pivot to see better benefits to whatever it is you're doing. The second reason why I think people fail in real estate is because they come with this 9-to-5 employee mindset, when in reality, this is entrepreneurship and business owner mindset, right? So with 9-to-5, what does that really mean? Is that you show to work at 9 a.m. and you kind of have a list of tasks to do. You do your tasks, you go to lunch, you come back, you work until 5, you clock out and you go home, right? So that means that when you're at work, you kind of follow the direction of somebody. You have a leader typically guiding you in what you need to do in your day-to-day tasks. Plus, typically your job is like one specific thing. So you can do that one thing over and over and over and over and get really good at it, whether it's marketing or finance or HR, whatever the case may be, you can focus on that one thing. When you come to real estate, for one, there's nobody that's going to call you if you don't show up to work at 9 or 7 or 8 a.m., right? You can sleep until noon. There's nobody that's going to call you to make sure, you know, did you call all your sphere of influence if that's how you want to grow your business? Did you record your videos if YouTube is the way that you want to go? Whatever avenue you want to take your business in, there's nobody there that's going to be giving you that accountability unless you have that coach or mentor like we discussed in the first point. And not only that is that you don't have that accountability, but you also have to do many different things. And this is something that people are not used to. Typically, as we grow up, we get jobs, whether it be at McDonald's or waiting tables or valet parking, whatever the case may be. You do one specific thing and you get trained at that job and you do it really well. And then eventually maybe you might grow or go into a different role. Then you get trained in that. When you join real estate, you have to do everything and you have to do it by yourself with the help of mentors and coaches, but it's on you. So you got to learn how to market your business. You have to learn how to do sales and how to convert leads into buyers. You got to help with contract work and learning the contracts, knowing how to give advice based on the contracts and all the options that the buyer or seller has. You have to work with vendors sometimes. If you want to put events together, you have to work with finances and taxes. And if you're trying to hire people for your team, you need to learn HR and how to hire people, so on and so forth. You have to learn so many aspects of the business, and that's why it's so hard to get it up out of the ground that people fail, because one, they don't have a mentor or coach, and two, they don't know how to do these vast different things, thinking that they're going to get a return within 3 to 6 months, and that's not the case, and they leave altogether saying it's not for me. But in reality, they didn't put enough time into the business to learn the different aspects of the business. The fourth thing that makes people fail a lot is that they are very uncomfortable being uncomfortable. We grow up thinking that we need to strive to be comfortable in life, that stress is bad and being uncomfortable is bad. And in business, that's not the case. You will always be uncomfortable. No matter if you have 10 deals in the pipeline or 0 deals in the pipeline, it's always uncomfortable. Of course, there are steps and ladders to the business. So when you first start off, you're super uncomfortable because you have no money to pay your bills or buy food, right? Once you get past that step, okay, now I have enough money for bills and food, but I'm trying to grow my business. So now you get inundated with so many leads and you're working with so many different people. Now you're uncomfortable because you have 5, 10, 15 people pulling you in all different directions, right? As you grow and as you scale your business, you're going to continually get uncomfortable. Are there situations to where you can just do a handful of deals a year or a handful of deals a month and be comfortable? Yes, technically, but even in those situations, you're still going to go through uncomfortable situations and conversations that you have to have with buyers or sellers and leads coming in. So you're always going to be uncomfortable. So don't think that you coming into the real estate business, or if you're a real estate agent right now and you're thinking about getting out, that magically your business has to be comfortable for you to stay in the business. It's always going to be uncomfortable. And the sooner you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, man, said uncomfortable a lot of times. The sooner you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, it's going to be better for you. And with time, you also get used to it, right? So when you work a 9-to-5 job, you don't like that uncomfortableness, right? And you're always trying to be comfortable in your little bubble. You don't want any stress and anxiety. But when you're in a business, you're pushing yourself, you're trying to grow, you're always going to get that. And that also kind of shows you that you're on the right path, because if you're just seeking the comfort, you're not going to grow. The next thing I want to discuss is that people can't think as far as long-term goals, right? You only think about today or this month or maybe at max this year and what you want to accomplish. People can't put into play, 2, 3, 5, 10-year goals and 10-year plans. And that's something that hinders a lot of people from growth and actually staying in the business and failing altogether. So how does this not planning for the future show in our businesses? One, anytime you make any paycheck, you just blow all the money, right? You don't invest any of that paycheck that comes to you. Now, when you first get in the business and maybe it's taking you 6 months to get your first closing, there's a difference between, getting your first closing and then paying a bunch of bills that are backdated, or you have stuff that's overdue and spending your whole check there. There's a difference there. But once you start making some consistent type of money, if you're just getting that paycheck and then all of a sudden you're going to Europe for a month, or you're spending all your money getting a brand new car, that shows in your lack of strategy or thinking long term, because you're blowing your money as soon as you get it. Are you investing in yourself, right? So can you invest in your business as far as gear? So camera equipment like this, I have lights here, I have a light there, I have a camera here, I have another camera sitting right here on the desk that I use for B-roll and other shots. Can you invest as far as courses go with sales or marketing or finances? Can you go to workshops that you can learn better business practices from other people, either in real estate or in business world altogether? These are things that you need to continually do, and it will show if you have more of a long-term goal in mind, because if you're just blowing all your money, you're just thinking about right now, thinking, you know what, I'm going to get this closing. I don't know when the next one's coming out. So YOLO, I'm living right now. I don't care about the future. Something else that you don't do if you don't have the long-term thought process in place, and something that affected me, is not saving for when things do not go right. So when things are going great, we seldomly think that they're going to change and go bad, right? So there's a saying that I kind of live my business by, is that if you worry, you'll never have to worry. But if you don't worry, you're going to have to worry. And what that means is, for example, for me, for a while there, a year or two ago, I was making really good money, the most money I've ever made in my life. And I was like, man, this is great. This is how it's going to be forever. I'm making all these tens of thousands of dollars a month. Nothing's ever going to go bad. So I'll blow my money. We'd go on vacation. We do this, we do that. But then what happened? Things changed, like they always do in business. And I went from making this great money to almost making nothing. And thank God I still made enough money to at least pay my bills and have money left over for food. But it was a big difference going from tens of thousands of dollars to almost nothing a month. And that was a big change for me. And I feel like God blessed me with that experience to teach me that I need to be more paranoid. And I need to worry and set money aside so that when things get rough or times get tougher, I still have that, savings that I can use to still grow the business. Now, that doesn't mean that all you do is save your money and you hoard your money, not wanting to spend it anywhere because you don't want to grow. That's just something that you need to have a certain percentage that you put aside, or have a little nest egg of 3 to 6 months of business expenses, or whatever it is that you want to do with your business. Just know that bad times will always come in any business, any industry, any economy. It's only going to be good for a certain amount of time, and then bad times will come, and you need to be prepared for those bad times. So today I discussed 4 different points for you. So instead of doing everything that I just told you, if you do not want to fail in the industry, like so many people, I think 85-90% of people fail out of the real estate industry, which is super sad. Do these 4 things in reverse, right? So the first thing you need to do is you need to put a plan in place. Whether you're looking to get in the real estate industry, or you're a seasoned agent and you're kind of sputtering, you don't know what to do, business is kind of slowing down, you need to put a plan into place. How do you want to build your business? Do you want to cold call? Do you want to make videos? Do you want to do social media? Do you want to do open houses? Whatever you want to do, you need to put a plan in place. The second thing you need to do is that you need to think like an entrepreneur or a business owner, and you need to hold yourself accountable. If you don't have that accountability, get a mentor or get a coach that's going to hold you accountable, because now you're paying somebody to hold you accountable, or get around other people that will hold you accountable. Something that I've learned is that when I want to be held accountable, or I want to grow and do things that I have not yet done or accomplished, I need to put myself around people that have accomplished these things, because just by being around them, if they are self-accountable individuals, they are not going to allow you to be a part of the group if you are not holding yourself to the same standards as them. So get a mentor, get a coach, or put yourself around people and keep yourself accountable. The third thing you need to do is just to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I know it's a hard thing to say, and when I'm uncomfortable, it doesn't feel good, but I've gotten used to the feeling, and I just know that it's going to come with every decision. Every time I want to grow or do something or get bigger, it's just going to come with discomfort, and you need to be okay with that. And know that it doesn't mean that something's wrong. It doesn't mean that something's bad. On the inverse, I actually think that it's showing that you're trying to push yourself, as long as you're being smart with your decisions, that you're trying to grow. And the fourth and final thing that you need to do is that you need to start thinking strategically and start thinking long-term, right? You can't make decisions just based on today or based on 6 months from now. You need to make decisions based on 2, 5, 10, 3, 6, whatever the case may be, years ahead of time, and start thinking of your next 5 moves, or your next 3 moves, or your next 10 moves, so that strategically you can start thinking ahead. So that's today's video, guys. I hope I was able to give you some value. Go ahead and subscribe and like the video. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below, or reach out to me on Instagram with a DM. I would absolutely love to connect with you guys. Until next time, take care and God bless.